Welcome to Coffee and Keys, where we blend our expertise and personal experiences to unlock your awareness of the real estate industry.
They're the best.
Here they are.
And now, here's your hosts, Darlene Kemp and Crystal Jacques.
Hey, welcome back and welcome to Coffee and Keys, family edition.
I love it. I love it.
I do too, and it's great to have our kids on here so far. We'll see. We'll see. So, Darlene and I, we had this conversation just recently that we kind of just happened. Thanks to Steph. We kind of just happened on the scene, and how much does our audience know about us? So we thought we would share our family and a little bit of background on who we are and what makes us and what has made us.
Yeah, and they get to share all sorts of stories and tell about us or on us or.
Yeah, tell on us. I agree. There's too many smiles on this screen right now. I see the wheels are turning.
Yeah.
We've been waiting for this moment.
Right. Oh, no.
So, Darlene, you can introduce everybody.
Well, I'll introduce well, actually, I've got 3 on there, right? And then you can introduce yours. So,
okay.
And again, I'm not sure where it's at, but I've got my daughter, Sarah Kemp, on here. She actually knows a lot about the business because she's also my assistant in the office for doing loans. So she knows a lot about me and she keeps me straight. And then I also have my other daughter on there, and I wanted to say Stephanie Kemp, but it's actually Stephanie Tirado now. And there's my grandbaby Isabel blowing in her drink.
Gotta love it.
Isabella. Now that I pointed it out, she's going to do it the whole time, right? So
that's fine. I want some.
And it's your turn. You introduce your crew there.
So I have a crew of 2. Gabe Maldonado's my oldest son, who is actually the man behind my curtain in a lot of things in my marketing. He does a lot of my marketing for my business. One of the reasons
we started this podcast, right? Or got us started.
That is correct.
Let's do the intro.
So Steph actually allowed us to practice at her house when we first started, and then Gabe designed our logo and our music and got that rolling for us. So and then I have my daughter Morgan, who is actually behind the curtains of, she works for me part-time a lot. Gets a lot of my files straight for me, and she does my, a lot of the stuff that I ask her to do.
It's amazing how we get our kids involved in what we do when we grow up, right?
That's pretty far away.
Not my cup of tea.
Yeah.
So Sarah and Stephanie, you guys grew up in the business. My kids didn't. I mean, I started in real estate after Morgan went to college.
Yep, I was actually in real estate before they were born.
Yeah.
Yep.
So how was it like growing up in the business?
Oh, no, here it comes.
I think there's 3 main things for me that stick out, which were going around in wagons in neighborhoods, putting flags in yards, going on Steph's softball travel trips and bringing a whole printer and fax machine with them to the hotel so they could work while on the trip. And then always getting the finger to be quiet in the car whenever we were talking in the back seat.
I still get that.
Not that.
I was about to say, that hasn't changed.
It never ends. Yeah. That's funny. I think that's hilarious. You remembered the whole printer and fax machine thing.
That is a long time.
But
that was a long time.
The aspects I got from it were I loved that my mom could go anywhere with us anytime. So despite me constantly being, on the go traveling with softball and sports and things, Mom was still always able to be there and still work her butt off to help, keep me in sports and help provide for the family as well. So it was we were very blessed in a lot of those aspects. Yes.
Yeah.
I loved that.
But
Awesome.
I'm working all
And-
the time. Because they got to see me work, which was a great thing. This business is unique that way, that we can kind of make our own schedules, but at the same time, if you don't choose to work when you're needed, then you don't get the business. So it was just great that I could work and still be with them, and that I could, if I had a 9-to-5 job I would have missed half of our softball games that started at 4:30. Right. So, it was just great that I could choose my schedule. At the same time, I did have to choose to work, but I could work while we're there. And like they were all saying, including answering the phone while you're driving in the car and going like this so they can be quiet so you can have a professional conversation with somebody on the phone.
It's amazing that we do have to make work a priority in what we do. I mean, we have to make our clients a priority, but we try to have that family time. And sometimes it flips where, my family's spread out. I mean, Morgan lives 5 minutes from me. However, Gabe lives and Gabe lives in Seattle, of all places, or Washington State. So we try to make that family time. We try to get together. I have 3 grandchildren. We try to get together for Christmas, right? And that's our time that we spend together. So is it uninterrupted? I've sold many homes on, around the holiday, running out or,
You plan a vacation, like you're going to get super busy.
Absolutely.
Yeah. That's exactly how it always happens.
Absolutely.
It never fails.
So
well, then let's plan more vacations.
I was going to say, you know what? It's a high stress job. So what do? We sneak in vacations here and there. So
that's right.
My question is to the 4 of you is, what's the best vacation that you've taken with your mom, and your dad?
Mediterranean cruise.
Oh, man.
And I think it was, I don't think I was working on, was I in real estate?
No, you couldn't work. You were out in the water.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Oh, yeah. I was going to say our last cruise, because Mom actually forgot her laptop. So we had no choice. Not only was she in the middle of the ocean, but couldn't do it.
Yeah. And I didn't mean to. We were going on a cruise, and I had my laptop. I had my briefcase and everything. And the airport where you have to take everything out of the briefcase, and I just kind of looked at everybody, and it was too late to go back home. I'm going, my briefcase is not in there. I had to do something online at the last minute, and I forgot to put my briefcase or my computer back into the briefcase. So I get to the airport with no computer. So needless to say, I had no choice but to not
enjoy.
Work. I just, it was really, it was scary at first. And then I just realized that I had people back in the office that took care of everything when I was gone. It was actually the first vacation I ever took without my computer. But it was great. Yeah, we had a great time.
I don't think I've ever vacationed without one. I think I'm always buying that internet package wherever I go.
She was too. She had all in 10. Oh, yeah, she was going to.
I don't know that Mom knows how to relax unless she's forced to. So it's like the universe said, I'm taking your laptop. You are going to relax, because otherwise she won't. Mm-hmm. But that's normal to us now.
Of course, the joke now that we're getting a little bit older, right? And we start talking about retirement, and they're going, you're never going to retire.
Oh, I don't think I ever will.
No.
She would lose her mind.
Yeah.
She wouldn't know what to do with herself. She's been doing it for so long.
So what we do could be very stressful. I think Darlene and I have figured it out where we've kind of made it fun in some respects. I mean, we're not,
Sometimes you have to choose to make it fun.
Yeah, and we do. I mean, we share a lot of business together, and we do, for the most part, have fun. And we have some really good laughs, and that's probably where the idea of this podcast came from. Because we every time we get together, we go, we should do a podcast. We should do a podcast. We should share this.
We should share this information and knowledge. Yeah, absolutely. And one of our things was in a very way, right? We wanted to make, because in all honesty, sometimes I think the reason I didn't get my kids more involved into the origination part of this business is because they got to hear in the car rides sometimes those not so great conversations, because this business is a very emotional business. We said that before too, right?
Yeah.
I mean, when you're buying a house and you're going through and divulging everything to the lender, and then, you're trying to get everything to go smoothly, sometimes people get emotional and they get scared and they get, and when people are like that, sometimes they're not on their best behavior, right? They can be a little...
And that could stress us out. I think I just had a client like that. I was like, oh man, she's stressing me out. But, you kind of...
or other people that you have to work with along the way. And, so I think that they sometimes heard that we don't always get treated in the moment respectfully.
The best.
But I will say, a lot of times when it comes to the closing and it's all said and done, they're so grateful at this time that we were patient with them and we walked them through and held their hand and turned it into a nice experience for them. But it is a stressful thing, to do when you've never bought a house before or never had, you're borrowing $200,000, $300,000, $400,000 in one day, that can be a little scary. So that's just kind of our job to help get them through that process and educate them, have them make the right decisions, and sometimes they just get emotional, and sometimes we're the ones that they get taken out on, right? So,
yeah. So with that being said, I have another question for the four of you. What is your mother's favorite thing to do to relieve the stress?
I'd like to answer this one.
Uh-oh. Okay, Gabe,
it's light. It's just wine. You love to have a glass of wine. That's what wine is.
It's very popular in this industry.
Yeah, exactly.
What'd you say, Morgan?
She likes to snuggle up with her bottle of Tito's.
Oh, that's true. That is true. I forgot Tito's was the transition.
Depends on how hard the transaction was.
I forgot wine was when she was an office manager. Now that she's a real estate agent, she has to go hard.
Tito's.
You know what I'm saying? She needed to upgrade a little bit.
She loves to shop.
I do.
That's right. Oh, yeah. That's true.
Your mom likes to garden.
Yeah.
Likes to do her gardening, get out in the outside and the environment, the sunshine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Garden
that's
it's like got to get outside somewhere.
Yeah.
Yep. That is
She
my
likes to yoga?
I do.
Did I know that?
I don't know if she likes it. She likes the after.
She's crazy.
How she feels afterwards.
Yoga's in a sauna. That's just crazy.
The heat.
So, Darlene, if we were in one body, we'd be a perfect person. See, I would do all the drinking, right? And you would work it off.
That's teamwork right there.
Oh,
Oh, wait a minute. Didn't I hear you just took up, up hiking or something?
Yes, I have. I sure have. And let me tell you, in fact, true story, my husband and I went hiking, and we were going to go hiking in the morning, and then we were going to go from the trail to the zoo and walk the zoo because, we're zoo members. And so we went hiking and we got lost, right, on the hiking trail. So 6 miles later, needless to say, we didn't have time to go to the zoo. It was time to have dinner.
And wine.
Had my glass of wine.
That's the irony of that is you got lost with a former navigator of submarines.
Right? Right?
He's used to water, not land.
Valid.
So we get to this point, and then we kind of went around, and I'm thinking we're going further into it, but then we see the same couple coming back around, right? So the lady says to her husband, and we're like, we don't want to look lost because you never know who's out there on those hiking trails, right? So you don't want to look lost. So the lady says to her husband, I think they're lost. I think we need to see if they need our help in getting back. back. Like hours later, it's the same couple. So
did you have your phone on this hike and service, and did you get a call in those 6 hours?
You know what? I did, and I was on my phone while I was hiking, but I wasn't leading, so that wasn't the reason why we got lost.
I was just curious. Is this another word true?
It always works, even if they're
lost hiking and still working. I love it.
There's two of them. 2 phones all the time.
It does.
2 phones and 3 lines. One of my phones has 2 lines.
Jeez.
That's a lot.
A lot to keep up with. I can't even keep up with my 1 phone and 1 line.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I did just take up hiking. Have we been back since that? I don't think we have, but there's so many trails.
Wouldn't count on that one too
I have
much.
to recover.
So I got another quick question for everybody, just to kind of. So, what is it that you guys like to do to relieve stress, and why haven't you decided to join our type of a business in a
good question
salesy kind of way?
Yeah.
Well, I thought I would never get
crickets.
Everybody all at once.
We know that answer yet? I know forever I swore I wouldn't do it, and then
she didn't know what else to do with her life.
14 years later, here I am.
Still doing it.
Still going.
Sometimes.
I've dabbled back and forth between getting involved and not involved. I actually started taking the classes, and then I didn't do it anymore. And then Mom and I had a conversation again recently where I was talking about doing it, and then I decided not to. But with my current business with the Real MVP, it's been busy, and so essentially what it is, it's my photography and videography business. I started off honestly out of a whim because my oldest played sports, so I would always record him and make mixtapes for him and highlight films, and then the coaches would ask me to make some for the team. And so, it just launched into something bigger out here, and I've gotten a lot of recognition from some of the local community members as well as some of the athletes that have gone D1. So business has been picking up, so I haven't really been able to really go full force into it.
Yeah.
Great reason.
But you're still on that entrepreneur venture, though, right? So, sometimes that's learned from, what we do is got a little bit of that entrepreneur style in it too, right?
I would say I have my mother's work ethic, because after I get done with my 9 to 5, I come home and I want to edit and do all the market and create clips and all that stuff. So there's a lot of times where I come up in the office and then my wife and kids just like, "Are you going to join us today?" So
we know that feeling. How about you, Morgan? What are you up to nowadays?
I'm like my brother. I've dabbled in it here and there, but I think the one thing for me is that it's not salaried.
That's what you guys are after.
We want stability.
Things are expensive, especially in Arizona. And, if you don't get paid 1 month, how are you going to pay your bills?
Yeah.
True.
We ain't paying them.
I know you're not.
Exactly. Y'all want us in the business, but
you don't want to pay. We don't want to pay the bills.
We gotta pay our bills.
Yeah, that's my only stipulation with it, or else I would be all in. I work for Mom all the time.
She was my office manager for a good year, almost a year. She ran my office and stuff, and then she said, "Mom, you don't pay enough," and left.
Well, when you pay me $15 an hour,
couldn't even give her minimum wage.
Exactly. I can't live off of that.
Why not?
What do you mean?
We did.
How long ago?
Hey,
You're
Mom.
in the industry, Crystal. Come on.
That is something that I will say about my mom. That will be something I say about my mom. My mom worked 3 jobs at one point when we were younger.
I'm not Jamaican either.
Yeah.
because they work a lot of
crazy.
jobs.
I'd be your office manager again if you paid me more.
I know. Yeah, we're in talks on that one. She wants to be paid more than I make.
It's not unreasonable.
It's not unreasonable.
It's not unreasonable to take all of your money.
Yeah, not a bit.
Y'all really want to drag us in?
I know.
I will say, for the most part, Sarah paid pretty well. But I've tried to like still reel her in and say, well, look, we'll just, split everything. No, and what was your excuse to me? That means I have to work all the time, nights, weekends. I don't want to, so that's,
It's really hard when you grow up in the business. It's a double-edged sword. Like we were saying earlier, Steph saw that you were always there and I did too, but I also saw you were always working. So it's hard to like get that mindset different where I like having my weekends off or a holiday where you take phone calls on a lost hike. Like it's a different mindset.
She's right.
Yeah.
I'm not really about that right now.
So yeah, there's the difference right there because again, your kids grew up in it and my kids didn't. Yeah. I mean, like Morgan went to college and I go, I worked in real estate, but I was not an agent until she went to college, so that's a difference.
A little bit different. Yeah. And then we have Stephanie that stayed clear of this industry altogether. But on the other hand, I could never do what she does. Right?
Nope.
Well, that was the one thing. Mom always taught us to do what you're passionate about, to find what you love, because the only thing worth doing and that you're going to enjoy and really make money at is doing something you love. So I guess listening to her phone calls while I was playing softball all the time, there was no interest whatsoever. So it didn't even cross my mind to start going that route. However, she did do some like design for a while and architecture type things and drawing out houses and stuff. And I love that. So my initial plan was like, I'm going to be an interior designer. I love that stuff. It's very creative and fun. And then I was like, well, it was the security thing. It was like, then I'm still in that kind of business where you're not sure month to month what you're going to do, what you're going to get, how it's going to go. Could be great, could be bad. Depends on how good you are at it. What if I suck at it? So I kind of was like, well, I need something a little bit more secure. And so then I went the nursing route, which, was another passion. It's done great for 10 years and it's gotten me far. So, and I still don't have to do 9 to 5. I work 3 days a week.
Yeah.
Yeah, I should have had you on that hike.
She wouldn't help you not get lost, though.
Not get lost, but I was panicking. Take my blood pressure. What if there's a wild animal?
Yeah, she definitely is amazing at what she does. And I wouldn't trade that for the world. I know that's a huge need and everything out there. To me, but her mother faints at the sight of blood, so that's something that I could. No. I guess in this world, there's a need for everything, and everybody has a specific purpose, right? That they find joy in doing. And I think that's the biggest thing. You really got to be able to find a little bit of joy in what you do, because you spend a majority of your life doing it. So you got to find some part of it that really kind of drives you.
There's always going to be the parts that you can't stand, and you got to just learn to get through it. That's one thing Mom taught me too. And now I'm 10 years into nursing and I need a change. So part of me thinks about dabbling in your business.
Well, I know.
I want to be at home more.
Come to the dark side.
I was going to say, real estate is not a bad way to go.
And work on trips and work from home or wherever I want to.
Real estate is not a bad way.
People person.
Well, then you're out. So my kids didn't grow up in the industry. So what type of jobs do you remember me doing that prepared me to do what I'm doing today? That led to that.
Just for feet.
Oh, well, that store's closed.
Yeah, that store's closed. But you managed a lot of people. You did a lot. I remember specifically. Actually, no. I remember playing at the basketball court in Just for Feet. But a lot of the things that you would do you would manage the events that were happening, like the friends and family nights when celebrities were coming in and signing autographs. Like it used to get real hectic in there. And I just remember from the basketball courts watching you like go around and managing people and all that stuff. I felt like the management part definitely helped you with along with the customer service part. But I think both of those definitely helped you prepare for where you are now, because it's easy to understand, read, and accommodate people at need when they're in need with your business. And I feel like that's something that's one personality trait I feel like you do. You're very organized, and you know how to express yourself and articulate yourself to the point where people understand it, and then they're sold after meeting you. So I think that really definitely helped you. Plus your work ethic. I mean, I said that before, but during that time you were working excuse me, you were working for Mary Apples, which was that cookie company.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah.
Yeah, you would help. I forgot her name.
I was taking Morgan to work with me then.
Yeah. I mean, you were doing it all. You were PTA working that, and you were doing the cookie thing. I think being around people just helped you flourish in this business. So.
Wow.
That's my take on it.
What do you remember, Morgan? Because Morgan was a baby with Mary Apples.
I don't remember any of that.
I didn't think you would.
Mainly what I remember is just office manager jobs. And then, you got into being an office manager for a real estate agent, and you would just always talk about what happened at work. And I think, doing that for so long kind of gave you a love for real estate to the point where you wanted to pursue it on your own.
Yeah, well, I took that job because it was a part-time job, and that's what I was looking for when we had just relocated from San Diego to Virginia. And so, Morgan, you were in the 8th grade, I think?
No, 9th.
Yes.
7th or 8th grade.
It was the summer going into 8th grade.
Yes.
So, that's a vulnerable age. I'm sure you ladies up there know, what you were thinking in the 8th grade. It was so long ago for me, I don't even remember. but I was concerned, with a move, and at that age, Morgan was that age, how it would affect her. So I just wanted a part-time job. I wanted to be home when she got off the bus is basically what it was designed for. And it ended up being for a realtor. And, it developed from there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I guess you saw that you could do that a lot better.
Yeah. Well, she didn't think I could, but I did.
Proven wrong, that's for sure.
Proven wrong. She so, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely been a journey, especially for as many years as I've been in it. And again, I've had my points of burnout too, where I've done a couple little different things here and there where I did actually get out, started in real estate, went into the mortgage business, but then got a little burnout and went into construction and started managing I got my Class A contractor's license for a couple of years, and then I got back into it. And then I took a time where I wanted to kind of like reset and figured I'd just go take something simple. I was just going to go sit down and do real estate closings, just have them, notarize and have them sign. And then all of a sudden the refinance boom came, and we went from doing 30 loans a month to 300 loans a month in a refi boom. And I thought, well, if I'm going to manage a title company and make this, I can go back into the mortgage business and really. So yes, I mean, it's kind of been a journey. It hasn't all been just mortgages the whole time, but I think all that really kind of just sets you up for, where we are today. I've got all that background, all that history of, doing different things. And I think that's what I just encourage our kids to do too, is just find your way, find things that you enjoy to do, and keep learning, keep growing, and just keep moving forward. And as a parent, what do we want more than anything is just for them to be happy and healthy and
successful.
Yeah.
Successful. Yeah. Absolutely. In your love. So, Gabe popped out.
What, Steph? Sorry. I was going to say we thought lost Gabe, and Steph was.
Oh,
Yeah.
I was just saying with all the things that you were doing, that's, I think one of the things that I loved is they call kind of like, you know, related to each other in a certain way, but it taught you all the different sides of the different businesses and the different aspects and things that go into it, which I think is what makes you so successful with working with people too. And doing what you're doing. But, you know, it's kind of neat because even mentally, it kind of just teaches you like perceptions, like, you know, looking at all the different perceptions and the different views of things and the different ideas and possibilities. And I think a lot I've seen, you know, I don't know anything about y'all's business and I don't know how things work the way they do or why or what, but I know from hearing conversations and in the car and talking to people that like a lot of the people you work with, like you can see everybody's point of view and you're able to talk them through it and help them through it. Because it is. I mean, I've, you know, we've bought 2 different houses and it is a very stressful, scary situation. It's exciting as well, but like you help them through all of that and all of those emotions and fears and views and thoughts and, you know, so it was really cool. It was really cool, you know, seeing you doing all the different things growing up.
Yeah. Yeah.
I gotta agree.
That's pretty interesting that you say, because I'm sitting here looking at who's on the screen and I'm thinking, I've sold what, Morgan, I've represented you in 2 purchases, right? Represented Sarah in 1 purchase. And then, well, Gabe, when he purchased his house, I didn't represent him, but I was there as an advisor.
Yeah.
So
we're all, as
but
parents,
you did give me the referral.
we're always there as an advisor, but I think that agent was tired of me.
Absolutely.
I believe that. I think I was the agent for Steph's first house.
Oh, wow.
I was your real estate agent.
You were.
Wow. What a family affair.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
And that was always, it was nice being in the family, having everybody in the family with this stuff, because I didn't have to stress about any of it. I literally would go to like mom or Sarah and dad and be like, okay, this is the part that's stressing me out. And they would be like, completely talk me off the ledge with it. And then I didn't have to know anything. I didn't have to think about anything. They just, I was like, yeah, they got it. They'll figure it out for me. It's fine. It's fine.
So you guys, if anybody, are the perfect people to, you know, kind of attest to what it is to work with us. Because you, in all of the cases, well, not Stephanie, but you've worked with both of us, you know. When Sarah, I kind of called your house before you did, though. I remember that. I said, I remember having to talk with Darlene and said, I think she's going to end up, you know, just listening to you, I think she's going to end up with more house than she wants, you know?
Yeah. I was way more picky on this go around. And
Yeah, I remember having that conversation with your mom, and I said, I just want you to know that she's going to end up getting, you know, a much bigger house than what her budget wants her to have.
You know? Yeah. And you always make it work.
Yeah.
And, you know, what we've always said, you know, we're not there to make the decisions for them. We're there to tell them
no, we're not.
What choices that they have. And
That's
ultimately, the decision's theirs. And how do people learn and grow? By making decisions on their own, right? And as parents, sometimes the hardest thing is saying, is it a mistake? Is it not a mistake? It's not for us to judge. It's just us for be there to support them. Right?
Yeah. And same thing with you, Morgan.
I think I'd be able to afford it or do it. And you were like, no, you're fine. You got this. You'll be fine.
But I mean, I do listen. I believe that I do listen to my clients, and I can usually figure it out way before they do, you know, where they're going to end up with and what they're going to end up with, you know, and for both of you, for Morgan and Sarah, I was like, well, you know, listening to what you're telling me, you know, because we walked into the homes that you were describing that your budget wanted you to have, and neither one of you liked them. You know,
it's also hard when you work in the business. You're like, I know the difference in all of these things.
And I said, okay. And both of you ended up with big homes, you know?
Yeah.
And I wanted the location. It's not so much about the home on this one.
Right.
But the location was fantastic.
Yeah. And we all know in real estate, location. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then when you walk back there and see a pool, how can you say no?
I know.
And no neighbors behind me. I mean, win-win.
Yeah.
Well, that was going to be the driving force right there, because you're not going to find a small house with a pool in the backyard. That's rare. And in the area that you want it to be in.
Right.
You know, so I knew right then it was going to be a much bigger house. But you did get, for the most part, you got everything you wanted, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I mean, yeah.
Now
Beautiful
it's all about,
home.
You know,
other than being less than 15 minutes away from her sister, that was the only downfall. I was like,
okay,
I really
we moved from like being 3 to 5 minutes apart to now it's just a longer straight drive.
I know it's not that far, but it's also not close enough. You can
have a problem. We have a problem.
Dorothy might go up for sale soon if you want.
I used to be able to walk to her house. Then we both moved and went a little farther.
Yeah.
15 minutes.
As long as we're still within the 15-minute range. As long as you don't leave my 15-minute range.
Yeah. We have a problem.
And I love that part. And it looks like we lost Gabe, didn't we?
I don't know.
I was hoping
I see you.
I see him.
I'm about to say.
He's there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, I don't see him.
Say something, Gabe.
I've been saying stuff. You're speaking over me. Look, Steph can hear me. I'm good.
Do you hear him?
I got you, Gabe.
I hear him. I see him.
Steph and Sarah can hear me.
Oh, that's strange.
I can get away with talking all the trash I want.
Join
now.
our team.
Join our side. Come on.
Yeah, come on over to the good side. We don't hear him.
Oh no.
Oh, that's strange. I wonder if he's still uploading for the recording.
We were talking about us representing, you guys and the purchases of your homes.
Oh, I heard the whole thing.
Oh, you did?
I was sitting here until you guys told me that I wasn't here anymore.
There's no catch-up needed.
Let me catch you up.
The whole time.
Let me catch you up.
You can tell us what we missed you saying.
Yeah.
You can listen to that back on the recording. Everything seemed like it flowed perfully, so I assumed you guys heard him the whole time.
All right. Yep, trial and error.
Yeah.
Almost reminds me of Darlene Darlene and I did this killer podcast. Like, it was the best one we've ever done. And we were so excited about it because it flowed and everything. And then she goes, oh no.
Everything's
Yeah.
We forgot to hit record.
Yeah, she goes, oh no, I forgot to hit record. I'm like, you are kidding me.
I'd call it a day and be like, we'll do this again tomorrow.
Hey, Darlene, my job is to press record on a button, and you don't know how many times I've had a kid come in, do a massive dunk, and then I look at my camera, I'm like, I wasn't recording. So
I've done the opposite where I thought I was recording and then I stopped it and then I go back later and I did the opposite. So I was like recording people's feet instead of what was actually going on.
I've done that too.
Oh my God.
I don't mess with technology, so
I don't blame you.
Don't ask me to press buttons or do anything. I literally just hit a link and I'm like, okay, am I in? I almost didn't think I was going to be able to get on this because I hit the link and it was like, download the app and log in this and do that. And I was like, nope, no. Thankfully, I was able to hit sign in as guest. And I was like,
just doing this podcast. I think we were scared to death to do it because I am challenged when it comes to technology. Huh, Gabe?
Oh, yeah.
He's like, Mom, calm down. Just press the button.
If I was a house, you would have figured that out, though.
Yeah, Sarah tells me just the opposite. Stop pressing the buttons, Mom.
She's like, it's not working. Why? Give it a second.
Machines have to think,
I like
too.
that instant gratification.
Right.
Yeah. Poor Morgan. Morgan lives close enough. She's like, I'll be right there.
That's Mom and Sarah. Me, Might be a 30-minute drive sometimes, but it's like you're close enough, and I need you now.
Emergencies, yeah, for sure. In the office, we sit in the same office back to back. So
Yeah. I love
I'm
it in the
just
office.
surprised. I'm surprised my mom hasn't troubleshooted a situation and says, "I'm just going to buy you a ticket. Come on over."
Yeah, well, I have
she's saving
actually.
it. It's coming one day.
I
Come
know,
on.
right?
When we did our client event, hello? Yeah. I was
That's
like,
true.
look, I'll buy the ticket. I need you to come out, help us with this. Did you come?
Lucas had a game. I couldn't miss it.
No, it was Father's Day. No, he
Right.
didn't.
What's even
Oh,
more?
No, he
It
did.
I had a trip. I had a basketball trip that week. Remember?
No, you didn't.
I could have sworn. Yeah, I did.
No.
Yeah.
No.
No.
And then you wonder
No.
why they don't work together, right?
Yeah.
Right. It takes a lot to do what
Family.
we do and work
It
with
does.
your parents.
And still love each other.
Right?
When I lived at home, I was like, this isn't going to work. I went and worked at a horse barn. Like, I tapped out.
She did.
I live
And when
with
I
you. I
tapped
work
out,
with you.
we can try this again.
Trust me, Morgan and I have this conversation. We've had this conversation several times. I said, Morgan, I'm glad you're there and I'm over here. Because you having to do all this, I couldn't do.
It's a lot.
It is.
It is. It
In
is
other
a
words,
lot.
we're a lot, Crystal.
We are. We are. But
That's
we are
why
the
you have
perfect
to have the
person.
two kids. So one can be like, okay, I tap out.
Oh,
Right.
Oh,
so where'd the
As the
balloons
balloons
come
go
from?
up in the air.
What does that mean?
That's your tapping stuff.
I wasn't tapping nothing.
that was perfect
It's
timing,
kind of
wasn't
cool
It
though.
was.
That was great.
Congratulations.
Yeah, that was great. I want balloons.
Happy birthday.
It's funny because when I get on the phone with my grandchildren, they're putting like the rhino face on me and, and they're laughing. I'm like, what's so funny? How did they do that?
Yeah,
It's only my
even
youngest that really does it. He gets a kick out of it.
He does. Grandma, you're a monkey. No, you're a rhino.
Oh my goodness.
I see it coming. Isabella's pretty smart on that phone, just to already.
Oh my gosh.
So before we started recording, Gabe was telling us about the Elf on the Shelf thing.
Oh yeah.
It's a phenomenon now. It wasn't in your days. None of
We
you.
didn't have Elf on
we
the
didn't
Shelf.
do it. So what are some of the cool Elf on the Shelves that your elf has done?
Yeah. Izzy can tell us. What has your elf on the shelf done, Izzy?
What has your elf done? Where's your elf been?
He went on our trip with us.
Yeah. He
Yeah.
did.
We
Wow.
were
Where did he-
packing for the Polar Express, right? And it just happened to be in her, one of her little bins that we were packing in the car and sitting behind her. It surprised her.
Wow. Ooh.
So where was
nice.
it at? What else has it done? Where's it at right now?
In the bathroom on the ship on the back of her ship.
On the back of her
We have a little
ship.
Right in the ship.
in the bathroom. In the ship.
Does she have a name?
Is it a she?
Chloe.
Oh.
Chloe.
Chloe?
Chloe with a nickname Snowy.
Oh, Chloe and Snowy.
Chloe,
Wow.
Snowy Elf.
Could you see this? Could you see
Yes, so you can see that.
So Gabe,
it's the little
what is
things.
your
Who
elf
needs
on the
toys?
shelf done? I mean, not
It's
yours,
just-
but your kids. You have three
Definitely
kids,
not
by
your.
the way.
It's
In
definitely
case you
not your
didn't know.
traditional name. They named the elf Elvis.
Oh, Elvis.
I like it.
Nice.
Yeah, you know.
Does it sing
So-
and dance?
It, sometimes. I think some of the, some of the stuff that we do is pretty PG, but when we first got the elf,
glad.
I had the idea of taking frozen peas and putting them all over the island, and then taking powdered sugar and I peed myself on it.
Oh.
So I saw that idea on TikTok. I had to do it. So
And the kids got that.
yeah, well, it was Lucas. Lucas thought it was hilarious.
So Lucas is what? He's 17 now, right?
He's 17 now. This happened when he was
Keep your hands still.
13. I think
So
13.
he got it.
Yeah.
Wow.
He enjoyed it.
That's awesome.
It's just another memory, right?
Yeah,
That they hope
Just
they
another
Just
memory.
another memory.
That's amazing.
So
Yeah, because we didn't. What were some of the ingenious things that you did, Darlene? To make Christmas, I guess, magical
God.
and exciting for your kids.
Just staying up all night long, getting it all ready, so that when they came down the stairs, they knew Santa would come.
Yeah.
Santa still comes. I don't give gifts. Santa gives them all.
Yeah.
yeah, that's right.
Yep.
Yeah.
I will tell you. I do feel like I have to tell this story, Mom. It's when we lived in Terrasana, and
California.
Yep, in California. And I don't know if you remember the layout of our house, but my bedroom was right next to Morgan's room, which was right next to the stairwell. And if you exit out of my room, you take a left, and then you take a right down the stairs.
Yeah.
But as you're going down the stairs, you had this big opening of a window that would look outside. Do you remember that?
I remember that.
There was one Christmas morning, he had woken me up out of my bed and told me, like, blindfolded me, covered my eyes, and told me to close my eyes. Obviously, I was at an age where I didn't listen, which that age hasn't died, but going down the stairs, and you told me, keep your eyes closed, keep your eyes closed. Going down the stairs, I looked out the window, and I saw the basketball hoop, and I just flipped out. I didn't even preface this by saying that she was recording me the whole time. So when I saw the basketball court or basketball hoop, I turned around and started cheering, and I hit her right in the face. I hit the camera, and the camera's up to her eyes. If you remember old VHS cassette recorders, you had to. So I hit the camera, and it hit her right in the eye, and she took one that day.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, it was good that my husband was out to sea, so it wasn't blamed on him.
Oh, so excited. That was probably one of my fondest memories of, like, Christmas.
And Morgan's got a good story when you saw Rudolph.
I think,
remember?
You know, that's funny. I think that was actually in the same year, wasn't it?
I
think that was the same Christmas. So that was funny because Morgan was maybe about 3.
Yeah.
Was she about 3?
Yeah.
4 maybe? But yeah, so she had this fixation that she had to stay up all through the night.
Could never get these kids to go to bed,
Oh, my gosh.
Christmas Eve.
We never
So-
could.
So Santa could come.
Didn't we live in Dolphin Beach then?
No,
No,
this is
we lived in
Terrasana.
Terrasana. Yeah.
Yeah, because it was in my bedroom window, and I looked out and I said, "You have to go to sleep because Santa's coming." And I looked up in the night sky and I see this red blinking light, and I said, "There's Rudolph! There's Rudolph!" And
She
you
went to
got
sleep so fast.
excited. I have never seen her sprint to bed, tuck herself in, and tell us to get out. Like,
She went to sleep
she was
so
asleep.
fast.
She needed no bedtime stories that night.
Yeah, I know, because I used to read them bedtime stories. Even Gabe, as old as he was, okay, I'm coming in to read your story.
Yep. The kicker was that red dot was actually an airplane.
Yeah.
So I'm getting it. That might happen tonight or tomorrow. Sam's doing some flybys.
Right.
Yeah.
This one
That's
doesn't
exciting.
Yeah.
No, I
still
guess
do
you
it
know
today,
what?
actually, Mom.
They're too excited, which I don't know. As adults at that point, you're so exhausted by then, through the holiday. that you forget that is exciting, for a little one. And I remember being so frustrated, with them. You did the milk and cookies, and you did the carrots, and you did all of that. And then, okay, it's time to go to bed. And they would never go. Neither one of you would ever go to bed.
Well, I just wanted the cookies.
I know, because we would make the cookies, and
then I would eat them.
Plate out. You wouldn't eat all of them, but we played out.
Yeah.
For
That's
Santa.
one of my favorite things to do with the girls is make Christmas cookies.
Make
we always do in the morning. We still do. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We always knew Christmas morning that we couldn't wake them up until there was like coffee. As soon as we were old enough to like figure out
Make the coffee ourselves.
Make the coffee. We bring it to them, so we weren't like waking them up. And then we're allowed to do our stockings while they got themselves together. So it kept that. It got them probably like maybe an hour,
if that.
If that.
We actually have a new tradition in our house, and I wouldn't say new, it's just new to me. Bree and Lucas have had this tradition where they actually make Jesus a cake, and they put a candle on it.
Oh, very nice.
They celebrate like that. So we've been doing that and combining the whole cookie or brownie, depending on what mood I'm in. Cookie or brownie options.
Wow.
like
Yes,
that
you're the
idea.
chocoholic.
Yes, I am the chocoholic.
My son and I are both
idea. I'm gonna start
chocoholics.
that.
I like that.
And then Morgan, can you guys believe this? Does not eat chocolate. She does not. I know.
Yeah, I always try
does
to tell her
not
she's
eat
adopted
chocolate?
because of that.
That's fair.
Who
That's
does
crazy.
not eat chocolate?
Yeah.
But she doesn't eat it. So Morgan,
So what
you
is-
don't have
what
any
is your
kids
favorite
yet. Yeah, I was going to say she doesn't have any kids yet. So what's your tradition? Because you have 2 dogs.
We got them Christmas stuff. We got them, I think, 2 toys each for like under the tree, and then we just went and got them. We got one of them, my golden retriever, a ball, a huge ball. It's like this big. She's like obsessed with balls. And then we got our lab a bone, and then they each got another toy.
And so Sarah,
Yeah.
you don't have any kids yet. So what's
Nope.
your tradition?
Well, I go over Steph's at night, and then we always do as a family breakfast in the morning, but I'll get my dogs, she is pleasantly sleeping in bed right now. I've always gotten toys, and I wrap their toys. Lancer, my dog before her, he loved opening Christmas gifts, so I had to hide it and then I would wrap it all, and he would literally tear every piece, and he wouldn't play with anything until he unwrapped everything.
Oh,
It was
wow.
amazing. It was so
Systematic
cool.
dog.
It was great. It was so fun. He would get so excited. She's not as
Now
much,
we'll just wait and
but
see what your kids do.
No, I know, right?
I love the
Right?
same thing. That's awesome. I love it. So I go to Steph's in the morning and watch all the gifts open.
Wow.
Yeah.
Izzy's kind of the same. She doesn't want to play with any of your toys until they're all open.
You got to see what you got first.
Immediately, one after the other.
We were the same too, though. I mean,
Yes.
he wants to stop and then,
That's true.
Play with them a little bit.
right.
How were we when we opened gifts? I don't think we were like that, were
It
we?
was a madhouse.
It was a madhouse.
Paper flying everywhere, pushing and shoving. I want that. No, I want that. They played with each other's toys.
Whoa, hold
Ours
up,
were great.
hold up.
Oh.
Start off by saying that Morgan wasn't a Barbie person. Let's start off by saying that.
You were
You
the
guys
Barbie
had quite the
person?
age.
I was not the Barbie person. Unfortunately, I am now. I got a 7-year-old daughter that wants you to play Barbies with her all the time. So.
All the time. Grandma, can you play Barbies with me? And then the
And they're
Barbies
always
look like,
naked.
yes, they're naked. They're
And
naked.
she wonders why I don't like playing with
And they-
Barbies.
and
I'm like,
they
look,
need a
baby, this
comb,
makes me feel
all of
very
them.
uncomfortable.
they need a comb. All of them have afros and matted hair.
Looks like they can spend 45 minutes on their hair.
It's
Not picking up when I'm dropping off morning.
Little girl, huh?
She's like,
It's beautiful.
anyway, we're at the end of our hour. That was easy. We're wrapping it up.
That was
Sweet.
yeah, wrapping it up. Yeah. So again, this is fun. We always have a good time on our podcast.
We do.
And I really appreciate you guys joining us and made it.
This was fun.
Had a blast.
It was fun.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
is fun.
Ready
So
for
be
part
careful.
2.
You might come back. Yeah.
Yeah. Now that we
have
figured it
plenty
out.
more stories.
Now we can get more
Plenty more
stories this time.
Yes.
Yeah, thank
Yeah,
you.
we
All
didn't even
no,
get to the
no
R-rated
more
versions.
family time. No more family time.
Next time, at least prep us up for the questions so I can pick out the best ones.
Yes.
Well, that's why we didn't.
That's hilarious.
But hopefully our audience has learned something about us and our personalities through
You're
our,
real people.
our children. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, we are.
Yeah, and
we
that's
are.
it.
We've
Yeah,
made
we're
our
real
mistakes. like Gabe losing jobs because I had that glass of wine.
She tried to help me on an application for a job that I had a shoe in on because she knew the manager. But then she answered all the questions wrong for me because she had 2 or 3 glasses of wine.
I only had one.
One that you can... No, I'm just kidding.
What was in the one? Was it
What
the
was in the
Tito's
wine?
Yeah, let me know if it takes one. I'm down.
Yeah.
How big was that wine glass?
Yeah.
I know.
The wine glass was big,
bowl.
but the bottle was bigger.
Well, I got a little relaxed. No,
Yes,
answer
yes.
it like this.
It was only her second glass of wine. That I do remember. So thanks for having us on.
Yeah,
it was great.
no, it's
great.
fun.
And
I wish you
Yeah.
could be on all the time.
yeah, well, so we'll
Might have to revisit
definitely
this
have to do it again.
in an in-person thing too. It might have to be one of
that
those
would be
type
fun.
deals.
Ooh, that would be fun.
That would be
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You know what? Yeah, okay, get you out here, right? Come on.
I'm trying to encourage a cruise. That's all I'm trying to do.
Yeah,
That was the lead up to
That
a
would be
cruise. You know what I'm
fun.
saying?
that
I
would
like
be
that.
fun. You know
We can
what?
start planning our next cruise, then we can do it there.
There you go.
Yeah.
That could be our next year Christmas vacation.
Hey,
There you go.
This
Make
is
it
Wait a
happen.
minute now. My crew's bigger than your crew.
that's true.
But anyway.
My side would hate me if we went on a cruise without him. So
Oh yeah, I'd have to have all 5 of you guys, and then there's 2 of Morgan. Dogs can't come, Morgan. But.
all right.
And then there's me, and my husband wouldn't forgive me if he didn't come.
Right?
Right?
Exactly.
So,
Oh,
but
Exactly.
all right.
Anyway, guys, we'll final up.
Thank you.
Ending here, and I really appreciate it.
Coffee
Yeah.
and
Thank you.
Keys is brought to you by Darlene Kemp, VP, Senior Loan Officer, NMLS ID 173897. Atlantic Coast Mortgage, LLC, is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 643114. www.nmlsconsumeraccess.org. And Crystal Jacques, Realtor for both Remax Allegiance, 4000 Virginia Beach Boulevard, Suite 164, Virginia Beach, Virginia 23452. Office phone 757-490-7300 and Remax Professionals, 20,241 North 67th Avenue, Suite A1 Glendale, Arizona 85308. Office phone 623-362-3000. Each office is independently owned and operated and supports the Fair Housing Act and Equal Opportunity Housing.